Hello, 5th graders. Today we're going to go over how to find factors, how to find GCF or the greatest common factor, how to find multiples, and how to find exponents. So for the first one, factors, we'll be doing number 1. It says list the factors for each number. So number 1, we're finding the factor for number 32. So I just want to go over the definition of factor. Factor is the number that when multiplied with another produces a given number. So when you're finding the factors for number 32, you're basically finding numbers that when you multiply with another, it produces 32. So one number times another number equals 32. So 1 times 32 equals 32, we know that. And 2 times 16 equals 32. And we also know that 4 times 8 equals 32. And I don't think there's any other number that when you multiply it will equal 32. So these are the factors. So when it says list the factors for 32, you write 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32, preferably in lowest to greatest. So next section, greatest common factor, or in short, GCF, we'll be doing number 3. It says write the greatest common factor for a set of numbers. So from the last slide, we learned how to find factors of a number. So one number times a number equals that number. Now we're going to find the greatest common factor between two given numbers. So 14 and 21. So let's first find the factors for these numbers. So 14 is 1 times 14 and 2 times 7. That should be all your factors. So 1, 2, 7, 14 are your factors. 21, 1 times 21, and then 3 times 7. So it should be 1, 3, 7, 21. These should be your factors. So it says we find the greatest common factor. So what factors are in common for these two? So we see that 1 and 1 are common and 7 and 7 are common. And we're finding the greatest out of those common factors. So 1 and 7, so 7 is greater, so the greatest common factor for 14 and 17 is 7. So 3 is 7. So for the third one we're going to go over is multiples. And we'll be doing number 3. It says list the first 6 multiples of each number. Number 3. So multiples is like you're multiplying it. You're finding so you're multiplying the number you're given. So let's go over number 3, 6. So you're given 6. So you're multiplying 6 by 1, 6 by 2, 6 by 3, 6 by 4, 6 by 5, 6 by 6, and you keep on going. So you should have an infinite number of multiples for every number. But since we can't write all of them, we're only writing the first 6. So we're gonna do 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, and 6 times 6. So this equals 6, this equals 12, 18, 24, 30, and 36. So when you get used to this, you won't have to like write it out like this. You'll just be able to list it. Be like 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 32, 36. So as you get used to it, you'll just be able to list them. So for the last section, exponents, we'll be doing number 1 and number 3. So it says write in exponent form, then find the value. So we're going to do number 1 and 3, as I said. So let's look at number 1. It says 5 times 5 times 5 times 4. So if you know what exponents are, we're going to have the base over here and the exponent over here. So the exponent is how many times the base is repeated. So we see that 5 is repeated 4 times. So 5 was repeated 4 times, and so it's like this. So basically it means that the base number 5 was repeated 4 times. So this is in exponent form, where we have the base over here and the exponent over here. So when it says find the value, it's basically just multiplying this out. So let's do that. So 5 times 5 is 25, right? So we have 25 times 25, right? Because this is 5 times 5 and this is 5 times 5. So 25 times 25. So we place it vertically like this. And then 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2, 10, plus 2 is 12. 5 times 2, 10. So replace right here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So you get 625. So when you find the value of 5 to the 4th power, you will get 625. So your answer to number 1 will be 5 to 4, that's your exponent form, and your value will be 625. So number 3, it says 8 cubed. This is a bit differently, that's why I went over number 3 as well. So this one's, so that means it's 8 cubed. Cubed is to the 3 power. So I want to go over, so 8, so we see squared here. Squared is to the 2nd power. Cubed is to the 3rd power. And if you're wondering what x to the 4th power is, we just say x to the 4th power. So 8 cubed. So we found the exponent form over here. Oh, and also the first number is the base. So if it's like 4 squared, 4 will be your base and it will be to the 2nd power. So 8 cubed, if we're finding the value, so it's 8 multiplied 3 times, right? Because 3 means that the base is multiplied that many times. So 8 is multiplied 3 times. So 8 times 8 is 64. And 64 times 8, we're going to write it vertically. 8 times 4, 32. 8 times 6, 48, plus 3, which is 51. So you will get 512. So 8 to the 3 power is 512. So let's write that for number 3. It'll be 8 cubed, 8 to the 3rd power. That's your exponent form, and your value will be 512. When you multiply 8 to the cube, you get 512. And that's it for today's lesson.